We're ready to take on another challenge. We've dropped to 4th in the table as we have a game in hand on a number of other teams that played on the Saturday. In fact, it's ourselves, Reading, Hull and Watford at the top of the table, so I imagine. Yeah, you can see on the right-hand side there. Watford versus Hull, Cambridge versus Reading on this Sunday, a championship Super Sunday. Having a quick glance at the calendar shows us with 3 other games in this month outside of this one against Reading, Portsmouth away, Middlesbrough at home and Stoke away. So Reading, Middlesbrough, Portsmouth, Stoke. Stoke are 11th, Middlesbrough are 7th, Reading are 17th, Portsmouth are 21st. It'll be the Pompey one then that we sim. So let's jump into the first game right off the bat. Drop the video a like if you enjoy. Please do make sure you subscribe to the channel too with that notification bell tick so you don't miss an episode. We're going to try and continue on today what was some good form yesterday. And fingers crossed we can continue to hold our own in the playoff positions. We should hopefully have Schofield back by the end of day as well. So fingers crossed for that too. But let's just start on the field, get 3 points and then take it from there. Right then, Reading, Raphael in goal. We played very well against us last time we played Reading. Pushkas back in the starting lineup for them. Danny Loader on the bench, who's a capable player. Modu Barrow on the left, who's continually very, very fast. Of course, a 4-1-4-1 for them. Kuyate at centre-back. Udom at right-back is solid enough. Now, we did get back-to-back home wins yesterday in played games, albeit via some very last-moment opportunities against Birmingham City. So I'd like to build on that. And if we can continue to turn this into a bit of a fortress, that'd be great. It took us a while to settle in at a new ground, which, to be fair, is quite realistic in that side of things. But I was hoping to hit the ground running at the new ground. We haven't been able to do so. But we're starting to pick up speed. So I'm sure it won't be long before we turn this into a bit of a fortress at championship level. We will probably have to start that process all over again once we get to the Premier League. Reading are playing some rather good passing football here, aren't they? Find themselves in behind with Modu Barrow, but Pereira Rock has the pace to deal with it. The pass was initially meant for Wilson. Fortunately, it didn't go to him, but we have managed to get it back. So we'll stay at 0-0 after 10 mins. Rolls just go short there to Adebiejo. Rolls will go again. And Ethan Clark is arriving on the left. There have been some calls for Clark to be dropped from the starting 11. But I don't feel the need to do that as of yet. He's still been playing well for me and having an impact. So I'm quite happy to keep him in my starting 11 on the left-hand side. It was perhaps a bit of a call for Evans to come in on the wing in the first 11. But I see the calls for that, or I'm interpreting the calls for that, purely is because Evans is higher rated than Clark, not because Clark hasn't been performing. I think a number of people are just seeing a 73 rated Evans behind a 71 rated Clark in the pecking order, and the difference of 2 overalls doesn't really make much difference to me, to be completely honest. It's how they play. Oh, what a header by Modu Barrow. It's how they play in game, and there's not too much difference between the two of them. Modu Barrow, though, with a crashing header off the underside of the bar. Brilliant leap at the back post. He gets the run on Campos, unfortunately it is. Pereira Rock tried to get there, but he was out of position, and Norris just didn't react at all. I think he might have thought it was going over the bar, perhaps. Definitely on target the whole time. Just headed at such a ferocity that the keeper couldn't find time to react. Modu Barrow makes it Reading 1, Cambridge 0 after 27 minutes. We're going to have to come from behind, and I need to be better in the pass than that. Basuma to Rolls. I mean, Wilson has gone all the way up the field there from left back and found himself in a left striking position. I'm not really too sure why he's done that. It's kind of going to leave me open on that far side. Thankfully, we've been able to A, have them attack down this side of the field, and B, we've been able to slow them up as well so that Wilson can get back in position. But it's not necessarily any good for his stamina retention, is it? His Hall, as Reading look to try and find a second. Push gas. Good block by Hall. It will fall to Popa, but that's a wild finish. Start the second half with a bang, shall we? Basuma out wide there to Pereira Rock. Campos is there. It's well picked off. And we're on the back foot again. Barrow. Oh, what a turn. Modu Barrow having a hell of a game here for Reading. Pushkas driving forward. Jack Rolls tracking back. Somehow Pushkas just walked all the way through. And that's a hell of a finish. I genuinely thought Rolls had won the ball there when I ran across to tackle him. Oh, he just pinballed about. That's a hell of a finish. We had a similar situation yesterday where Cano seemed to win a ball and then it just stayed in the possession of the man that he tackled. Another one there, but unfortunately this one could have more of a killer blow. That's 2-0 Reading. And we might be having to resign ourselves to defeat here in the first game of the day. Turn by Campos. Inside with Pereira. 2-tap rolls. Let's make a run there out of Bieto. I'm going to try and... Well, I put the input in to do a fake shot and turn inside. Nothing happened. Wonderful. I think this one is going to be one of those days. But thankfully we've 3 other matches to be played in today's episode. One of which will be simulated and should be a pretty straightforward win, I hope. OK Reike into Rolls. Can he make up for missing the tackle a moment ago? Yes, he can. He's in a great vein of goal-scoring form, Jack Rolls, right now. At the minute, one of my best goal scorers this season in that cam roll. Great run. And to be fair, the finish, whilst under pressure, off the post, is very well taken as well. That is his 8th goal of the championship season so far this year. That's a very good goal-scoring record. Certainly better than Adebayo, and I think better than OK Reike as well. They may have just given themselves... Oh, no, the touch is terrible from OK Reike. It's going to be a corner. I wanted him to get away and accelerate from the defender there. That was the chance to really put ourselves right back in the game at 2-2. We win that header? No, unfortunately not. Might still fall for us. It hasn't, unfortunately. Well, there's still time to turn it around. If OK Reike had gotten away there, we might well have been level already. Bissouma out to Campos. And there to OK Reike. Campos has pointed where he wants it and he'll get it there too. And closed down by the defender. Can we get the cross in? We can. Rolls is there. I'm going to try and nod it back towards the teammate. That's all I could really do in that situation. Other than risk taking a terrible first touch and just have it go straight up for a goal kick, which is quite within the realms of possibility. 20 minutes to go now. I am going to make a change, I think. In fact, it might be Rolls. It is going to be Rolls that comes off. I'm going to bring Palomino on. And I'm tempted to move Bissouma further forward. What is his finishing? 65. Let's move Bissouma further forward. No. I'm going to do what we sometimes do and move I'm trying to put Campos at cam, but it does not want to let me do it. Let's not bring Palomino on. Let's bring Evans on out wide instead. And Abadia can come off the bench for OK Reike. Right then, 19 minutes to go as we initiate those substitutes. Wait and see how long it takes for them to actually come on. A lot of the time that you make subs, the ball doesn't go out of play for another 15 in-game minutes, but that would see us with just 5 left. So hopefully we can get them done sooner rather than later. And it might be because we've had to kick off again because Jack Rolls has scored another goal. Should I have shot there? Probably. He's under more pressure that time than he was when he scored. Get that down. Lovely touch. Into Adebayo. Oh, he could score again. Still! Hacked away again. Reading under real pressure here. Knock that down. OK Reike rolls, ducks underneath it. Quick 1-2 through that gap. OK Reike out of his feet. He's going to come off momentarily, but he will come off as a goal scorer. We're level. With 11 minutes to go, we might yet still win this one. Here's Peter. If there's a goal now, it will be a winner. Out wide to Richards. I'm going to try and force them to go and continue to go wide, which hasn't worked at all. Is he onside there, Richards? Apparently so. No, he's not. Norris did get a hand to it. It ended up in the back of the net. I thought he was. When the ball was cut back and there was still no whistle, I thought that was it. I thought that was game over. 3-2 Reading, and we were going to lose. As it happens, it's going to be a 2-2 draw. Rescued from 2-0 down, thankfully. Big second half performance from us after going 2-0 down early on in that second half in the 52nd minute. Jack with another one, and OK Reike picking up a goal as well from our only 2 shots of the game. Well, that speaks volumes about what sort of performance that was, doesn't it? Not on the same sort of level as yesterday, but hoping that we can improve as we push forward. I expected at least a draw from this one. Reading are all right, but I can't say we should have won because we certainly didn't deserve to win, did we? Barrow was very good, so we'll concentrate on how to deal with him better. I'm not sure how you deal with that raw pace better than we were able to in that one. Kept him quiet for some of it, but not all of it, evidently, with that header at the back post. Very well done. Very well taken indeed. But he is finishing. He's getting closer to being better. Nibs is up to 73 rated overall now, although his place in the team, despite being my second highest rated striker, his place in the squad, in the club, is really under threat. He just hasn't been performing at all, unfortunately. We shall simulate this away game. Palomino is not suspended, he's wearing international duty, which is quite frustrating because international breaks normally work in our favour, but annoyingly, now that we're in the Championship, obviously, European international breaks anyway, but evidently Palomino being, I believe, South American, meaning that sometimes international duty comes calling when we're still having to play at the weekend. Clark came in the centre mid as the player. I don't know why it brought Ethan Clark in as the replacement centre mid, but it seems to have worked because he scored the only goal of the game and we've gotten a win down at Fratton Park, which we'll be very happy with. Schofield is on his way back. This is great news. He might be fit for the next game. He might not. Well, he's not even fit enough to train at the minute, so he's still not there. And Palomino away on international duty continually means that we should go back to this one then. Pereira Rock getting closer to being in the 70s. I mean, he couldn't get much closer, could he, there, from that second training regime. Cano 73 and continuing to grow nicely. Collins still 72. There are even more players away on international duty now, so I presume there's not a 2-week break. It was Collins is away on international duty as well, and obviously Collins isn't South American, so I'm not sure why he's away. Well, regardless, he's back. It's the most important thing, I guess. What nationality is Palomino? I can't tell from here, can I? I have to have a look in the. I'm sure he's South American. It's a very South American name, isn't it? Have a look. Palomino. What flag have you got next to your name? Venezuelan. Yes, South American indeed. He's unhappy with his playtime, but he's in that starting lineup now, ahead of James Wilden, who I dropped in the last episode, despite him scoring a goal. Right, Middlesbrough at home then. Well, I mean, this side just won a game, so I'm going to give them the opportunity to go again. Considering we didn't win with the last, and Schofield is back, but not fully fit. We'll put him back in anyway. Considering this team drew the last game against Reading, and the rotation 11 won, I think it's only fair that they get the opportunity to build on that and go again. So against Middlesbrough at home again, we shall play with this 11 and fingers crossed come away with another win. Middlesbrough, Ainsley Pearce in goal, Dale Fry still at centre-back for them, George Saville pushed further forward. Hannah Behrens is the one that has the captain's armband. They've got Jack Marriott on the bench, could be dangerous. They're playing 5 at the back, Middlesbrough. So we'll see if that's going to... We haven't played 5 at the back for ages, or played against 5 at the back for ages. The lower leagues played a lot of 5 at the back formations, didn't they, on the way up? But it's been more 4-2-3-1s and 4-4-2s in the Championship. Middlesbrough harking back to some of the previous games and previous seasons we've had in this save with a 5-3-2. We'll see if we can remember how to play against it. Nibs has gotten a good turn in there, but I've just got nowhere to run with the ball. And unfortunately, I've lost possession. Middlesbrough, with those 5 men at the back there, really proving to be difficult to break down. Abadir trying to spin. He's done well. Acceleration to get away, but no finish. Shulun Ngoy on the breakaway. There's Nibs. Ngoy's gone again. We'll find him. It's Palomino pushing forward. Nibs is available. He's not got the pace, but he has gotten away. Ooh, and a good finish too. It's typical that, as I mentioned what you guys have been saying in an earlier highlight about him having not performed at this level and his place at the club being under threat. We said the same about Adebayo last season, and he really stepped up and has been scoring a lot of goals for us. I don't expect Nibs to do the same, but I'm pleased that he's popped up here with a goal to give us a 1-0 lead against Middlesbrough. I enjoy playing with Nibs in the lower leagues, but he has felt a bit clunky and quite poor on the ball in the past season or two. So I am open to moving him on, but he will continue to grow for us and hopefully continue to have an impact for us until the moment comes where his sale is assured. Who we replace him with, I'm not entirely too sure, because at the minute we have 2 obvious starters in Adebayo and Okereke. and then a very adequate backup in Aberdeen. So what happens with that fourth striking role, I think for the time being, I might just leave it as is. Tate looking to get us a second, but not to be. It's a situation where everybody at the club is all right at the minute. And I'm torn with loyalty to players that have been with us from the start, like Harvey Nibbs, like Adebayo, that aren't necessarily good enough on paper. Recently, to be fair, Nibbs hasn't been good enough on grass either. That I feel harsh just outright replacing them straight away as soon as they're not good enough. Because we've seen the resurgence of Adebayo, particularly after he had a poor second season. He's still holding down that first team spot after finding his goal-scoring touch again. But I don't know as Nibbs will do the same. Julian Ngoy is one that obviously we thought about moving on as well. And maybe we could move Nibbs on, move Ngoy to striker, and then look for another. Oh, I just don't know. There's so many different options. What a save by Schofield. We certainly missed that of late. Brilliant point blank stop from the goalkeeper, who's still not fully fit, having broken his rib. So probably still a little bit of pain for the keeps. But he's still keeping the ball at the back of the net. Abadia's gone again. Palomino's going to have to come back here to Tate. We'll go out wide to Ngoy. Quickly through that gap, looking for Nibbs. Oh, God, a couple of heavy touches, but still stays away from the man. Palomino, that's a... Nice interception by Fitzwater. Opportunity out wide there for Ngoy to get forward. Nibbs rides the challenge well. We'll find Palomino, who could go back to Nibbs, who of course scores his second. When I speak up about how good we are, I tend to jinx myself and concede goals. And then when I start to get critical of players, they do the opposite and start to perform. Harvey Nibbs with a second well-taken goal. Maybe we might get to the point where I don't have to make many changes. And we might just end up saving money for a year to really then take a drastic step forward in, say, our second Premier League season. But we've got to get to the Premier League this season first, I suppose. Otherwise, we'll have to sell players on to become good enough to challenge for those top two spots in this league before we even contemplate getting to the Prem. 2-0 up at half-time, though, with a brace from Harvey Nibbs. So, maybe I don't know. I don't feel like he's good enough in save right now. This might just be a one-off, or it feels like it's a one-off performance, but maybe I'm wrong. But that feeling that he hasn't been good enough has been echoed in the comment section of the past, well, over the course of the past season or so, I think. But we'll wait and see how things transpire for the remainder of this season and make a decision in the summer rather than doing anything drastic in January. To Noyle, and Evans is itching to get in behind. And you can't deny him the opportunity to do so because he is so very quick. Aberdeen has Tate in support. There's Palomino early around the corner to Aberdeen. On target this time, but a good save by Pears. Evans to deliver the corner. It's a decent whip. Nibbs is underneath it. It's going to fall free. Oh, trying to cancel the shot that I initially wound up with. Palomino! That's well wide. This is good football from Middlesbrough. They've been great with the ball at their feet, as Reading were in the last episode. They just haven't, or the last game, sorry. They just haven't had the goal-scoring threat that Reading had. Nibbs, I'm going to try and turn here and feed Julian Ngoy. It's been a while since he scored a goal for me, but he's leapt over that challenge and buries it. That's game over. Julian Ngoy moved up to a striking role with the substitution of Aberdeen going off, with Leon Davis being called on, and that lift over the defender's legs there was vital. It's a great run. It's a great goal. It's going to be a great 3 points for us here at home and ensure that we get the victory. Oh, God, Evans, what was that? Awful, but regardless, thankfully the overall game was good and we get a 3-0 win at home against Middlesbrough. That's pleasing and good to get two strikers goals that haven't really been firing on all cylinders this season, or last season for that matter either in Nibbs' case. I'm not sure who's around us at the time being. For the time being, I don't know as there's any reason concentrating on Bournemouth or Watford. We're unbeaten for a little while. I can't remember when the last defeat was. It was the episode before last, wasn't it? It's not a massive run to be unbeaten, but for the time being, there's no point concentrating on those above us because Bournemouth are just going to keep going, aren't they? As are Watford. So I think for the time we're solidly in the playoffs, although we do have an extra game played, and other teams around us are either uncatchable above or probably won't catch us below. Okereke is playing well and wants to continue to play, which is fair enough. We just did defenders. We can do Jack and Schofield again now as he's back fully fit. I might actually have a quick look and see what our team is growing like and have a look at their overall stats as well. So we'll have a brief... I haven't done this for ages. I used to do this every few episodes, but we only tend to do it once a season now. No growth from any of the other goalkeepers other than Schofield, but pleased to see him continue to grow. Wilson is up 2, which is great, to 74. Got the second win trait too. Norval Williams continues to grow. Nice to see Grant Sweeney growing too. Not much, but enough to prove to us that perhaps he could be a decent backup long term. Cano is growing up to 73. Collins is up to 72. So there is still some growth from Nathan Collins, and he is still only 22. I'm hoping that my 2 centre-backs that we've put a lot of faith in will continue to grow considerably over the next few seasons. We still have Fitzwater, who's growing well, up 1 as a backup, and Wright is a player that performs much higher than that 68 rating would give the impression of. Harry Darling doesn't play for me at the minute, but it's nice to have an extra player there. Greg Taylor, obviously, we're just keeping at the club so he can retire with us. Dennis Pereira Rock is growing well, up to 69, hoping that he can continue to do so. He's now level on rating with Kyle Noel, who he'd replaced. Obviously, will continue to outgrow Kyle Noel. Leon Davis, 68 rated at 23. Still growing, though, which is good. James Wildin, no growth from him. Oh, actually, there is some growth from him. Nothing physically, but there is some technical growth from him. Tate, up 1 to 65. Robinson, no... We were hoping that Tyler Robinson would grow quite considerably out on loan at Rotherham. Unfortunately, it doesn't appear to be the case. Ethan Clark, no growth from him yet so far this season on an overall basis, but a little bit of individual stat. Palomino's up 1 since joining us on a free. A little bit of growth from Yves Bassoum, although he's 27, so not necessarily expecting massive amounts of growth from him. Elliot Griffiths is growing a little bit out at Burton. Zach Rolls is up 1. Of course, we're training him continually, and he's scored now 8 goals in 15 games with 3 assists. Really been one of the players of the season so far. Dominic Evans is up 1 to 73. He's got 1 goal in the league, but 2 in the cup. Campos up 2. Our Scout Future Star, one of our Scout Future Stars, growing really well. He's got 2 assists in 12 games and no goals. It's been a slow season so far for him. Nibs still growing, up 1. They were his first 2 goals, though, of the season in that last game. Abadia up 1 to 71. There's not much that can really happen with his physicals now. He's already as fast as physically possible, and other than perhaps some strength, stamina and agility, I know it's mainly his technicals that we could really do with growing, particularly that finishing stat. But he has managed to get 3 goals in 9 games so far, 5 in 14 total. Adebayo, well, to be fair, he's growing quite well, but no overall as of yet. He's got 3 goals and 4 assists. Again, as was the case last year, more assists than goals for Adebayo. Julian and Goy picking one up in the last game, and with, well, he's doing really well in the Carabao Cup. 2 goals in 6 in the league. And Okereke, no growth from him at 26 years of age, but 9 goals in 14 league games and 4 assists. I mean, he is our top goal scorer and our top creator as well. So a very, very good free signing there, wasn't it? A transfer offer from Jack Fitzwater from Cincinnati. This season, only MLS clubs really have bid for my players. I don't know if the save has bugged a little bit, or I genuinely don't know what the reason is for that. But regardless, let's head into this game against Stoke then. They are 10th in the league and only 4 points off the playoffs, although they're 10 points behind us. First and second look out of reach. And to be fair, we probably look out of reach comparatively to a number of the other sides in the league as well. But we have to keep up our form. And after winning the last one, I have to show faith again in this 11. I can't deny them the chance to continue what has been their good form so far. Let's see if we can win at the Britannia. Jack Butland in goal for Stoke. Sam Clucas out wide again with Marcus Force through the middle. I imagine they're playing a 4-3-3. Oakley Booth, Atebo and Moreno in the midfield. Familiar look to that Stoke City lineup now in this save. We've played them a number of times. I hope that we can get victory on this occasion, obviously. Here's Moreno. Through there to Clucas. Nice tackle. Noyle battling hard but can't get Clucas off it. Looped into the middle. Wright should deal with that. All 6'6" of him. Etebo actually won that header, disappointingly. And now they still have the chance, Stoke. It down to Sam Clucas. Another delivery perhaps from Sam. No, a tackle from Kyle Noyle on this occasion will drill that forward. Good touch from Abadir actually. And Nibs. Oh, that's a better touch. Now where do I go? Left or right? Left, I think. Julien Ngoy in behind. Julien Ngoy on the score sheet. We lead at the Britannia after 13 minutes. Apparently, right now, it doesn't matter whether we play the first string side or the second string side. We're getting results. And again, it's Ngoy and Nibs that are making the difference. They make it so hard to know where to go and what direction to move forward in with regards to the squad as a whole. By playing like this when called upon, which they haven't done for a little while, it makes you wonder whether they are genuinely actually good enough for the Championship and to keep us, or keep them in the squad and to give them the opportunity in the Premier League. We're in a similar scenario as we were in League One. I thought, well, maybe they're not cut out for Championship level, but they've done a job in League One, so we'll try them in a Champo. Now, after thinking initially they weren't good, we're going to get a free kick there? No, Abadir goes to ground, nothing given. After thinking they weren't good enough for the Champo, they're now seemingly good enough for the Championship, so maybe we give them a go in the Premier League. They just keep defying the odds, these lower-rated players. It was awful. And provided we can get promotion this season, and we don't feel the need to drastically improve the squad to get ourselves up, then they will get that chance in the Premier League, I feel. Atebo. Could go again. Oakley Booth here. Zinkernagel. We get there with Sweeney. He's done well. Another case of the defender tackling the man and then not registering as having won the ball and just running away. You assume when you press tackle you've won the ball and that they're going to run off with it. But it just never, supposedly according to the coding or the game engine, registered as ever being in possession of the defender there. 1-1. Stoke fire back. Etebo lofted again. Out wide to Zinkernagel. Well, that touch is decent. They've worked this well. Try not to draw players out of position, and Force gets his header on target, but Schofield holds it well. Bowled quickly to Evans and forward nicely to Palomino, and the defender's pulled himself out of position there, and that might cost Stoke. Normally it's me drawing defenders out of position that costs goals. Oh no, I turned the defender and it's fallen free. I turned the defender with Abadir, and then when he went to shoot, he swung and missed at it. Fell to Nibs, and I just couldn't shoot quickly enough. Oh, and I couldn't find the pass either. Oh, that should really be 2-1 to Cambridge United. I've messed that up there. Glorious opportunity to get ourselves back in front. Abadir will look here to Palomino, who will poke that for Nibs. I have to turn and look for support. And Abadir is here. And Butland with another good save. Now we haven't scored there, I'm not sure. Delivered in. Nibs could win this header. Has done. And Butland stops again. 1-1 at the break. Thanks to the man that has the ball in his hands. Clucas into the middle. Oof. Well, that was pretty simple. A long ball out wide, a ball into the middle, and a header on goal. Pretty one-dimensional football from Stoke, which in the Tony Pulis days isn't necessarily out of character. But I don't know what sort of football Stoke play at the minute down in the Championship. But certainly that was a hark back to Stoke City of old, unfortunately for them. it hasn't worked. Oh, and I thought I'd got the turn on Kevin Viven there. Unfortunately not. There's still time left for either side to make a difference in this game. But I am thinking of making some changes to my team as we push towards the final moments of the game. Palomino will come off here for James Wildin. And I'm going to call on my top goal scorer, Okereke. And out of curiosity for the future of the club, I want to see what Okereke and Abadia are like as a strike partnership. See if we can set those two alight with a York and Cole style partnership if we can. And they're going to need to kick it off or hit it off because we're now behind. Great finish, and Stoke lead by 2-1. The ball whipped in from that far side. Header one at the back post and volleyed home quite well indeed. 2-1 Stoke. James Wildin through to Abadia. Oh, yes! Maybe they are the strike partnership of the future. Okereke played in by Abadia. An immediate hit, the two of them. Immediate. Well, there's still time then to push forward for another. But that's a lovely through ball. Great first touch, and the finish just as impressive. Cracking on. Still time for a third. Zinkernagel lofted in on the far side, brings it down. Trying to step inside, but brushed off it there, the defender. Smith blocked by Wright. Corner for Stoke. Say there's enough time for us to get a winner. Works the other way as well, doesn't it? And Stoke have obviously proven that they can score goals against us, and goals of some quality too. Who's going to get to that first? Oh, he's a bit quick, isn't he? Oh, we'll have a throw though, but at least we've still got possession back. They're making a change. Zinkernagel going off. Tate will get this inside. That was not where that was supposed to go whatsoever. And I've put myself back under pressure here. Force. Waiting for the through ball. Doesn't come. There's one. That's a finish, isn't it? Etebo makes it Stoke 3, Cambridge 1. And, well, Tate let him run off the back of him. And that's a hell of a finish. That's a great goal. We might well still be losing this game at the Britannia. Corner for Stoke. They continue to push for a fourth, more so than us, looking like gaining an equaliser. Force's header is flicked really dangerously across the face of goal. Klukas stood back up into the middle again. Oh, Etebo is just so much stronger. Sweeney crumbled underneath the attentions of the centre mid there. That was outrageous. That, like, proper crumbled. That was unreal. Just buckled under the pressure. It was a really fortunate rebound there, and Abdia could yet be instrumental in us getting an equalising goal, but looking for another assist to Okereke. It's not going to happen. I need to work this quickly, and maybe still. No, not to be. I needed that turn from Abadia there. It's 3-2 to Stoke. So despite the potential emergence of a new strike partnership, we still have to take defeats from the Britannia, unfortunately. Very well contested game. Let's have a look. Watford win again. I didn't see Bournemouth's result there actually, but we are literally, as they were talking about the unbeaten streak, it was good whilst it lasted, and hopefully we can do the same again. Just unlucky. They were the better team. I don't know if they were the better team. Both as good as each other there. It's just that our confidence is solid enough. Well, they just scored two very high quality goals. Congratulations to them. Bournemouth 11 points clear of us now. They won on match day 20, and that defeat does throw into question slightly our playoff position, but still 7 points down to Stoke, and we'll be moving past the halfway point in the season in tomorrow's episode as we push into December, and what is usually a rocky time in almost every season we've had, because it's always busy December and January. We've got the FA Cup to come still. So Watford, Hull and Barnsley, and then Wigan, Charlton, Portsmouth and Reading over the next 2 episodes. And then probably an FA Cup tie potentially at the end of December on that 30th, the Saturday. So I don't think they'll wait until the 6th. So we might get an FA Cup game here as well. It's going to be interesting to see how we cope over the next couple of episodes. always tend to have a little bit of a dip in form throughout the Christmas and New Year period. If we can avoid that, and other teams do have a dip in form as well, then maybe second place is a possibility. Oh, that's really, really pleasing. For the first time, managerial offer from Celtic. For the first time, I think, no, not ever, but certainly one of the very few, we've won Manager of the Month for November. So despite the defeat to Stoke, we do still get Manager of the Month. That's nice to add that to the bow. Let's have a look at our career stats. Can I see how many awards we've won? Manager of the Month awards, 1 there in 03-04. None. Oh, 1 in the second season. Where did we finish there? 5th in League 2. Yeah, 1 in the second season and 1 in the first season. So for the first time in 3 years, we've won a Manager of the Month award. First time since our League 2 days that we've won Manager of the Month. That's very pleasing. I am, however, expecting to get smacked by Watford in the first game tomorrow. So be prepared for that, won't you? I'll see you then. Ta-ra.